Can anyone hear me? All right. Hello, YouTube world. My name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream. I'm so excited to have you all back here together again. I know I just did a live stream yesterday talking about all the movies that I saw yesterday. Well, I mean, all the movies that I saw throughout the entire year. But I had to do this one last time just to talk about 2021 for the last time. And this live stream is going to be very. It's not. I'm not sure if it's going to be quicker or short. It's going to be shorter than the other one because that one was 4 hours long, and this one is. I don't know how long it's going to be, but basically, with this live stream is going to be talking about my New Year. It's going to be talking about my journey throughout July through December of 2021, as well as my New Year's resolutions, my thoughts on the year of 2021 as a whole. That's really what I'm planning to do here. Um, but before we get started, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe once this stream is done. And hang on, let me just edit the content chapter. Intro, and then what time should we start it? Let's start at 2:10. Wait. All right. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this real quick, and we're gonna start off with July, and let's start off with July 1st. Honestly, I don't remember anything from July 1st, so let's start off with July 2nd. And there was some stuff that actually happened this day. The first thing that happened was two movies came out. Fear Street Part 1, 1994, and Boss Baby 2 came out, which I, of course, really liked those movies. But here's the difficult thing about that day. What happened was that it was basically a week. It was sort of a week after I got my second dose of the vaccine, and um, pretty much up until Friday, I was feeling sick. Well, I mean, that weekend when F9 came out and I saw all those movies, and it was pretty much the last week of June, I was feeling sick. But as soon as it was towards the middle of the week when I got better, but towards Friday was like the first day where my throat started to feel sore, and then the day after that, my throat was like very hurt, was really hurting, and I even tried drinking tea for it, and then literally towards the end of the day, I literally could not speak, like it, even to make a sound from my voice was just hard to hear, was just hard to speak, and I just turned my throat real bad. But what also was bad about it is that it was the 4th of July weekend, so that was kind of messed up. But at the same time, I still had a good 4th of July, um, and it was great. Um, but at the same time, as you know, Saturday. If you guys do not know, I actually stay up really late on Saturdays because Saturdays are like the big days for me, like for YouTube. Because, and technically, I'm supposed to do this on Sundays, but Saturdays are like, because Saturdays are like the middle of the week of the weekend, and I get to stay up late a little bit later. Saturdays are. I don't know if I've told you this, but Saturdays are the days when I create my schedule for the next week. And on 4th of July night, I was kind of excited because I had hope that I was going to get better. And also, I was watching the movie The Aristocats. And that movie was actually really good. So I was actually feeling a little bit better because I watched a good movie. It's movies like that that make you feel comfortable. But what happened after that is that when I woke up the next day, I was having trouble sleeping because I literally was up until 8 a.m. and I was not doing very well. And so I basically just went on my phone for a little bit. And one of my other comfort movies that I watched was Soul, which I also got for Christmas. Spoiler alert for December of 2021. And it was just a comfort movie. It made me feel like I'm just fine, like I'm back to normal, but not really. And throughout that entire week, I also took showers, which could also help with my nose since it was stuffy. Which technically, if you, in a matter of fact, when technically on Saturday and Friday, Saturday was the main day when my throat was hurting, but towards the night, it was mostly the nose. On 4th of July night, that it was the nose that was really bothering me. So, yeah, that's really the stuff that happened. But throughout the week, I pretty much helped with it. I took showers, which helped with my nostrils to open it up. And I could even take 2 showers if I wanted to. So I kind of liked that. But then, so I don't really remember everything that happened throughout that whole week. But the big thing that kind of put a big that kind of wrapped up my whole week was when I went to go see Black Widow in the theater, which to me, of course, it's one of my favorite films of this year. It's 18. It's probably like 18 on my list of 2021 movies. Uh, and also it was like it was also like 2 weeks after I got my second dose of vaccine, so it's like I was able to like go like I didn't have to wear a mask, though I always wear a mask everywhere I go. Technically in Disney, we'll talk about that in a minute, but overall I really liked how we got to see Black Widow that week. And then the other thing I really liked was also the second that week after that was when so we got I think it was Fear Street 3, and then we got Space Jam: A New Legacy. And honestly, pretty much after I got the vaccine and stuff, that was like the week, like pretty much ever since after that, that was like my summer was like lit. Like I loved it. It was great, and I loved summer. I loved summer pretty much after that because like when summer began, like I had to go to the eye doctor, and I didn't really have to worry about much about that because I just have eye drops for one day. But when you get the vaccine, it's going to affect a couple of days of your life, and that's kind of frustrating when you want to make YouTube videos too. Which was also very hard for me because I am dedicated to making YouTube videos and sharing my thoughts out for you guys. So yeah, pretty much for the rest of the summer, it was just great, and I also enjoyed watching movies. Not saying I didn't enjoy watching movies before. It's just with now everything out of the way with the eye doctor and the COVID and the vaccine stuff, I can finally enjoy my summer without having to worry about anything or any medical stuff. So that was fun. And then also that Saturday, I believe it was July 16th. No, wait. It was I think it was July 17th. My parents made me go to this birthday party, which I was not wanting to go at all, but I had a little bit of fun. The food there was good, but I, even though I'm a kid, I'm 14 years old. I don't honestly I don't believe I belonged at those types of parties, but I went and I guess I had a little bit of fun. But also made that day wild is that it really made me great. It really like I honestly really enjoyed it when it came to the end of the day. Not because of the party and stuff, but really I also got mad because I just wanted to stay home and we decided to go out to eat. But also what also was troubling was frustrating is because that night was the last day when the episode of Danger Force came on. And like that was an episode I needed to watch live. And the last showing of it was going to be at like 11:30. And I really enjoyed it. As you know, I saw my ranking. And then and what also was really surprising about that night is you guys know Saturdays are my days when I create my schedules. And when I created my schedule that night for that week, if you guys know, I didn't make many videos that week. It was that week when I reviewed the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I only posted like 5 videos that week, and I was so surprised. And that's kind of gotten me the way of why some of my opinions of the MCU films have changed, and why some of my opinions on the Pixar films have changed, and why I'm actually watching the Disney animated films right now, which is why Carol and probably The Black Cauldron might be the first 2 films, non-release films of 2022 I might see this year. So just to put out that out there. Um, but it's also just to like go back and watch some movies I haven't seen before, but also watch some movies I have seen. Um, and so then pretty much that next week, I even didn't have any new releases to watch. And then that next week was the last week of July, which is pretty chill. I don't remember much of what happened. Um, Granted, that weekend was a bit much because um, I was really working because we were preparing for Disney. We were also getting ready for school and stuff and getting new clothes, and so I had to like work the hardest I can on that Friday, July 30th, to get all my videos done for the weekend, and I did. And it was the Marvel video, it was the end of the month videos, so it was a fun day. And then Saturday came, and then here's where it gets frustrating, and that actually closes out all of the July stuff that I want to talk about. So now let's go on to August, but let me make a thing for that. All right, so now we're going to start with August, and I actually remember what happened August 1st. That day was so rough for me because one of the things that they did is that, well, actually, what happened that day is that I actually got new beds. Well, all of us got new beds. And the thing was, we had to wake up early at 8 a.m. to put our beds in the garage, and we had to wait until the beds arrived. And lucky my parents, their beds came first, and so me and my sister had to wait all day, and we were so tired. We wanted to lay down on something, and we couldn't, and so I basically kind of took a little nap in my mom's bed, and it's honestly comfy. And so then towards the end of the day, the bed stuff, like the little bars on the bed, they didn't come until Monday, the next day. So we had to wait. And I mean, honestly, going back to it, I'm not saying I was mad, but it's like like I want it to be complete because it just feels weird sleeping on the floor with the bed, but then having the bars on it. But honestly, it's all out of the way now because it's already built up. And then also the top that day was me and my family watching E.T., which of course is a very enjoyable film. And then the next day after that, honestly, let's just kind of I want to talk about this whole week because that whole week was kind of frustrating. Because that Monday, I was planning to do a MCU tier list with my mom, which was gonna be, which technically got canceled to Wednesday or some time of that week. And so I had to make other videos. And then I also had to do my movie collection video, which, of course, the next time I do that video, I will be updating my movie collection since I got some movies for Christmas. Uh, Spoil a little bit for December again. Um, and then I also watched The Dark Knight. I was also watching The Fox and the Hound, my sister. And so it was honestly just a busy week, as it was the last like full week for summer of 2021. So, but I still had fun. I still had fun. But also, there's also something big that happened this week and it actually happened um Wednesday, and it actually involves my dog. So if you guys know, I don't think I've ever told you this, but um my dog, when she first came here, she never really didn't really know. We didn't really know, like, she's not really like a regular dog. Like, she barely barks. She barks sometimes, but honestly, because I've gotten used to her, I'm not really scared of her when she barks. There's sometimes she scares me, but like but like it's like a shocked scare. Like it's like a shocking scare, not like a, oh, it's gonna come out of me and eat me. No, it's not like that. And technically, another thing that we also noticed is that technically we got new couches, which we'll hear about in the October part. But um since she's also new to our house, we were trying to teach her how to jump on the couch so that way we can cuddle with her and stuff. And pretty much when she got used to the house, she just started jumping on the couch like all of a sudden. Like we used to run after her, and then she used to jump, and it's so cute. And then also before we got our new beds, she was also able to go on it because it was her height for her to go on. Unfortunately, sometimes we would put her on the bed, and we realize now that there has to be people that have to look out for her, because on Wednesday that week, the Suicide Squad in Vivo came out. She jumped off my sister's bed. My dad was playing with her, and she jumped off, and she kind of hurt herself. Not saying that she didn't break anything. We literally had to take her. Well, my sister and dad had to take her to the doctor to make sure she was okay. But she's fine. She was just a little startled of what happened, and yeah, I honestly was scared. And it's like I could not see I did not want to see my dog in pain. And then that week, and then I saw the Suicide Squad Thursday, which honestly, I was so surprised of why the Suicide Squad came out at a certain time, because I wanted to watch it, because I thought, how come all the other HBO Max movies don't do that? Why is the Suicide Squad doing that? Like, it doesn't make sense. Then I watched Vivo, one of the most surprising animated films of the year. Definitely one of my favorites of the year, though it's not top 20, though. I think it's 21 or 22. Who knows? That weekend was also the last weekend of summer, so that was fun. Didn't do much. We were also looking out what clothes we're gonna wear for Disney, and then that next week was also the week we were going to Disney World. But what also made it fun is that every single day was just great. Granted, the day I went to Epcot was kind of tiring for me. Like I was kind of feeling lightheaded for some reason. But also I was just laughing a lot. I was just having a lot of fun, and it was just great. And also, the first episode of What If came out that day, that Wednesday when I went to Magic Kingdom, and I woke up super early, so that was just a great day for me. What else happened? So yeah, every day I have a video about it before my What If review came out, so you can go see that. And also when I was on my way home from Disney, I was just laughing so much, like I was just delirious. I was just tired, but I don't know, like I just had to giggle so much. Those were good times, but here's where it gets a little bit frustrating with when it comes to August. So not only was so what I mean by it was the last week of full week of summer, that also means that the week after I went to Disney, it was also my first week of school. Not my first full week, because I went to school. My first day of school was Wednesday, August 18th. But um I was just nervous out of my mind because first off, it was my first time going back to school after being at home for over a year, besides going to school to do the tests for FSA. And literally, and honestly, before we get into talking about like what classes I have, how is school, and how is eighth grade, let me just say this: this is probably the middle school year of all of them that I've transitioned to the best. Because in sixth grade, I remember on the first day of that night, I was literally having a panic attack, and I remember what happened that day. Like I was shaking, I was really like so nervous, like it was just crazy in the way that whole day happened. Seventh grade, I wasn't. I was a little bit. That was even worse because I was in a new learning environment. And so that was bad. Though I did get used to it once I got to third quarter and stuff, and also fourth quarter too. But this quarter, I just kept thinking about the positives, because I kept thinking about the positives and talking to my friends and just listening to the teachers and saying and just focus on what's happening right now, and that helped me a lot. And then also, we closed out that week pretty good. Oh, okay, actually, now let's talk about my teachers. So, I actually have two electives. One is in first period, one is in second period. I'm not in sixth period. I'm not going to tell you any of their teachers' names because I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm just going to tell you what the subject is and what period I have them in. That's all I'm doing. So my first period is theater. My teacher is very nice. She actually, she my that class actually kind of plays a big part in this 2021 review. Uh, because there's a lot that happened with some people, which we'll talk about in a little bit though. Second period is math. Once again, she just reminds me. This teacher reminds me of my fifth grade math science teacher, as well as my sixth grade science teacher. And I thought that was a great combination. But she's also just very nice. My third period teacher is language arts, though it did get switched later in the year, which we'll talk about that later. Fourth period is world history, which honestly, he's a teacher that I know before, and honestly, he's just super nice. Fifth period is science, which she's nice. She's definitely caring. She's kind of interesting, but yeah. I'm trying not. I'm not saying anything mean about any of them. I'm just, I'm trying. I'm saying the best stuff I can. But I'm not gonna say anything mean, like my personal. I'm not gonna say like anything personal. But then again, I don't even think people will. I don't even think any of my teachers will see these videos because they're teachers. They have grades to put in. So I don't even think they will. I'm not saying they don't have a life, but I'm not talking anything bad about them. I'm not. I'm just saying. Because some people don't find science interesting. And then the final period is PE. And when I first heard that I was getting PE, especially in normal school, I was extremely terrified because I cannot exercise. If you might not see this, but I am fat. Like, I am fat. I am fat. Okay, fine. You know what? Fine. I'm chubby. I'm voluptuous. But I am not the guy that likes to exercise. I might exercise this year. Who knows? But I do not like exercising, and but at the same time, another thing I was also worried about with PE is the lockers because you had to have combination locks. But honestly, I've kind of gotten used to lockers, and honestly, I've done it almost every time, and I've been able to open it by myself all the time. And honestly, I'm not worried about PE anymore. So now let's talk about some stories that happened that week. So if you guys know my friend Ethan Bolts, he's a YouTuber. And just to be clear here, I'm gonna be talking about some stories that some drama that I've been going through this year. But I'm not going to mention anybody's names because I don't want it to make it seem obvious that I'm talking about those specific people. Some people might know, and some people might not tell them. But there are certain people that will know about this, but won't know who I'm talking about. But who knows? They probably don't talk about it as much. So if you guys know Ethan, he was the person that helped me through. Okay, so let's just kind of start off with here. So if you guys know Ethan, he was one of the people that kind of helped me get friends on Instagram and get me to follow a lot of people. And he's not the best friend. Sure, he follows people from school, but is there anything else like good about him? Like, he doesn't care about anyone. Literally on my TikToks, he would just say negative stuff. Why do you have a do-rag on your head? Small TV, bruh. Like, he would never say anything positive. Like, he's not that kind of person. And I had to stop being friends with him. And then he just said dumb stuff. And he's just weird. But then here's where a story with one of his friends came in. So there was this girl that so as you know, um, there was this girl that went to my elementary school. I'm not going to mention her name because I'm not going to do that. There was this girl that went to my elementary school, and she was actually one of the people that I followed on Instagram. That sort of I followed from Ethan. Uh, and then she didn't go to Millennium in sixth and seventh grade, so technically eighth grade was her first year here, and so I was kind of so then I didn't know that she came to Millennium, and I saw like on one of her TikToks saying, "Hey, I'm going to Millennium," and then I texted her the second day of school saying, "Hey, we should be friends since you're new to this school, and I didn't honestly know you were coming to this school." And when I texted her that, I guess that she thought she had some like vibe of me saying that I like her, in which I technically did, but I didn't want to make it seem like that. And then and then I go to school the next day and get here's the even worse part. Ethan's in my first period, so I have to deal with him only one period. He's only in my first period, so at least I have to deal with him in only one period. Though I do see him throughout the day, but mostly it's first period that I have to deal with him. And so Ethan comes up to me when I go back to school the next day. He's saying, "Hey, I heard you were talking to this girl's name last night," and I'm like, "How does he know that?" I only told I'm not saying the name. I only told this girl about it. Like, why would she do this? I thought we were good. I thought we were friends. And then that's where I started to like question: Is this girl? I had to say this girl, but I don't want to say her name. Is this girl really my friend? Is she fake? Like, I started to question that. So then a week passed. It was also my mom's birthday that Saturday, so it was a great day, great party. Um, and Cruella came out that day before, so it was also great because I missed that film in the theater back in May, to go see it, Quiet Place 2. And then the next week that passed is the week, the Friday, the day before Labor Day weekend. And so I told my friend about this, and we basically talking about the girl I liked that is new to this school, and I basically allowed her to tell the girl that I like her. And then I come to school, mostly all these people. Ethan shows me texts of this thing, and then one of his friends say, "Nice try, buddy." And then I'm like, they're basically saying that I don't have a chance with this girl, and like it's just annoying. And then people are trying to get my attention at lunch, and I hear someone say, "Stop! You're gonna make him cry." Like, bro, this is unnecessary, bro. Like, why did you have to tell them these people? And she even said that she didn't tell any people. Are you sure? How do they not know? How do they know? If they don't know, then if you didn't tell them, then how did they know? You just don't want to. You just don't want to get. You just want me to get in. You just don't want to get in trouble. And then I unblocked Ethan from Instagram and basically used him to. And honestly, I think that was bad of me to do because I that's kind of bad. But I used him to see if they're actually saying bad stuff about me. And then he sends me a picture of this group chat with that girl and all these other people, and they're saying like that N word watches Paw Patrol, and basically I realized that they were fake. And then like the friend that told her that I liked her, technically it wasn't her fault. It was the girl that I liked's fault because she didn't have to tell anyone. She could have kept it to herself. And the person that I told that I allowed to tell her, she even she even sent me messages of the girl saying that she won't tell anyone, but she technically lied. And granted, I'm over it now. And then so the girl that I allowed to tell her, she basically went to everyone and basically told them to apologize. But technically, I feel like it wasn't a real apology. I feel like they apologized to me because they don't want to get in trouble. So that's kind of the big thing. And so, and let's talk about Labor Day. Oh no, no, wait. Let's hang on. I forgot to edit it. I'm sorry. All right, 30 is when we start September. All right, so technically that story, but with Labor Day, it was in December, in September. Um, and also one of the things that I did that week is that on September 1st, I took a science quiz, and I ran a mile in PE. We literally just went outside to run like 2 laps, and then we went back inside, and I was out of my mind because that was probably the most I've ever ran. Like I was literally having trouble like breathing, not like dying, but like I was dead. I could not walk a single inch, and people were. I had to sit down for a minute because, and everybody was like, "Is he crying?" Like, bro, mind your business. And so then Labor Day comes, Labor Day weekend. It was honestly just a chill weekend. I honestly thought because and the great thing about that weekend is that it was actually a 4 day weekend because it was also on Tuesday. It was also a holiday for some people, and I thought that week was great. I thought the weekend was great, and what also made it great is I watched Labor Day movie. I also watched Shang-Chi to go see in the theater. Mixed on it, but I still like it. Uh, I think I watched the Addams Family 2, the first one, not the second one, the first one. And then that week passed by, and the great thing about that was I woke up the first Wednesday of that week, and we had a new What If episode. So that was a great way to start my week. And what also was surprising is that I was supposed to have quizzes this week, but math and world history, but they extended it to the next week, which I kind of figured since it was only 3 days and there's not really much time to prepare for a quiz when it's a 3 day week, so that's kind of weird. And so then the next week happened. It was of course 9/11 that Saturday, so I had a pretty fun day, though it was a sad day for that type of event. And then that next week happened. Here's where it gets interesting. So that Thursday, I can't remember exactly what that day was. That Thursday, it was September, I believe, 16th. It was September 16th. My dad wanted to give me a fade, and instead he messed up and he decided to shave basically my entire head bald. And so basically, I go to school the next day, and one person asked me, "Do I have cancer?" And then I basically have to deal with people hitting me on the head at least twice. And then there's this group of kids in my science class that like say they're like messing with my YouTube channel and saying, "Yo, I watch your YouTube, bruh," and like they're not real people. I don't believe people like that. They're not people that are like that. They're trollers. They're just stupid people, and they keep lying and stuff, saying, "No, he has head. No, his head." Like it's just so annoying. Just stop already. And then some people took pictures of my head, and I heard people were making fun of me. And now the interesting thing about this situation: who is Janice Beasley? Who are you? Who's Janice Beasley? Var Vartech? What? What's Vartech? Whatever. But the interesting thing about this situation is that so in my PE class there was this I was we have assigned seats in our PE class, and there was these two girls that came up to me and they asked me they came up to me. One of them said, "Hey, did you get a haircut?" And I was like, "I know it's messed up." And she was like, "Oh no, I like it. It looks good." And then I was like, "Thanks." And you'll hear more about those girls more down the line in October, because there was actually something interesting that happened that day. It was actually interesting something interesting that happened that in that month with them. So then Friday happens, and I basically did a live stream bunches of people from my school came on. The girl that I liked, technically I don't like anymore. Ethan came on. All these other people came on, and basically were telling me that they wanted to invite me into this group chat that they made, that they have for all these people that go to school. Wait, hang on. Let me look up something real quick. Real quick. Whatever. I'm gonna remove Janice Beasley because I don't know who she is. Well, not. I'm gonna remove this comment because I don't know what that means. Okay, so and they basically invited me into that group chat. And, I talked to them. I basically tried to start a conversation of something that was going on in our class, and they was like, "This kid, we don't talk about school in this group chat." And then I basically just like because I was so happy, like I have friends now, and so I was like, I kind of wanted to keep calling them, like to see if they were available to talk. Technically, they weren't, and so I come back to school that Monday. Ethan shows me a picture, tells me that they have a new group chat without me called Group Chat Without Nick. Now I know now sometimes people when it comes to things like that, it may not seem like something big, but for me it was big. It was not the best thing ever. Cause why would and they basically made a group chat without me because I was spamming this chat because I kept calling them. Is it my fault that I'm happy that I got friends? Is it my fault that I'm me? Like Ethan doesn't even understand because he literally says they have group chats with me without me without that don't have me in it all the time. Like it's not the same thing. And so I could, and then also sometimes when we're on FaceTime, he takes pictures of me, and then when I get to school, and then I got to school the next day, one of my friends says, well, one of my classmates say, "Hey, well, why do you look like that in the morning in the photos that I saw?" And I was like, "What?" Ethan sends these photos to people, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy!" Like, I didn't even think Ethan was like that. And so I could not handle it anymore, and I had to tell someone about this. And so I told my theater teacher, and then I told the counselor for 8th grade. I told her everything that happened with the bullying and the whole situation that happened earlier in the school year. Not 7th grade, only 8th grade, because it's too late to do stuff for 7th grade. And so then she basically talked to them. The people she basically it took her a day to kind of talk to them. And then she told me what they said, and then pretty much on that Friday, September 24th, everything was going smoothly. Like the whole situation was pretty much over, and the girl that I liked was involved in the situation, and I was thinking like, she was like saying bye Nicholas, hi Nicholas, all over the place. And I was kind of thinking I should be friends with them again and unfollow them and unblock them, but then I'm thinking no, that's not going to happen because I don't want to go through that again, that whole situation again. So then because I don't want to take a risk like that again. So then I am walking to my 5th period on Friday. One of the girl I liked's friends says, "Leave my friend alone, Nicholas. Leave my friend alone." And I got so mad because one, she wasn't involved in the situation, and two, the situation was pretty much done with until she said that. And so I was basically on Instagram texting her saying what she did was unnecessary, and she was being like, "Know your place," and who are you to anyone? And like that was just so unnecessary because she knows what she did was wrong. She's just a bully. She is a bully and she just doesn't see that. And she can't speak for them because like I just have this whole argument in my mind of what I want to say to her, though I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do anything. Actually, scratch that. I'm not going to. Let's not talk about that because whoever's seeing this and knows about it, it's probably going to start something. But trust me, like it's been it was September. I understand that, but I'm still frustrated by what happened because, and then she started saying like leave all my friends alone, but they were the one that started it. I was trying to. I all I did was do a live stream. See, all I did was do a live stream, and all I did was just talk to them. So technically, they were the one that started it and decided to be mean to me. And they didn't like me. They don't care about me. And so then and then the girl that got involved, also another girl of her friend that was also my friend, got involved as well. And it just got crazy, and I lost that friend, and I was just unbelievably sad because I wanted to be friends with that girl, not the girl that I liked, a girl that another girl that got involved. And so pretty much the situation was handled, but I'm just not satisfied with the way the situation worked. And she was basically saying like we're not meant to be friends and that she doesn't vibe with me and that we're not the same. I guess I have to respect that. But how could she be friends with other people and not me? Because I'm like the nicest person there is. I'm like, and honestly, I almost feel like that she was just defending her friend. Like she didn't care about what I had to say of what really happened. She saw what her friend said. She's just seeing it in the eyes of what her friend said. So I guess I have to think about that. I guess I have to accept that. And so then a week passed, and then so then another interesting thing about that week is that I was actually having a 4-day weekend because that week I stayed home for Thursday and Friday because my mom and dad went to New York for their wedding anniversary, and it was honestly just pretty fun hanging out with my sister and my dog, and it was overall just great. And so that kind of closes out September. And also, we got a great episode. We actually got our first great A minus episode of What If. So I thought that was great, especially how it came out on the last day of the week of the week before I'm getting to stay home. And so now let's get on to um October. Going to start at 43:50. And basically, there's not much that happened this week because it's a mixture of September as well as the beginning of October, and it was a good month. The first weekend was good. A good thing that we actually did is I was actually obsessed with Shrek. Like I was obsessed with the Shrek 2 and stuff. We were watching Shrek and stuff. We also got pizza that day, on September 29th, I believe. Yeah, September 29th. And so basically that Saturday's October 1st, no, October 2nd, me and my sister watched Nightmare Before Christmas because it was also her weekend to watch a movie with me, to watch it with us, and I enjoyed it. It was a good movie, but it was not my favorite film of all time. And then also one of the things and then my mom and dad came back Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and one of the things that they actually did is they brought back pizza from New York. Since the last time we were at New York, all four of us, was back in March of 2018 for a spring break trip. I really want to go back. Oh my gosh, all these links that people send on the YouTube videos. I'm tired of this. Cannot take it. Why would you do this, especially during a live stream? Um, And so basically they like I want to go back there. There's talks about going there for spring break this year, which I really hope we do because I love New York so much. It's beautiful. And even watching some of the Marvel stuff with like Hawkeye and Spider-Man and stuff, it just looks interesting to me. Except the sewer smell. We don't talk about the sewer smell here. That is the worst part of New York. It almost makes me want to puke. Um so then and of course we had pizza for days, honestly. We had like we basically got I believe we got 2 or 4 slices for each and every one of us. And it's like it was great. And even what made it great is that if you guys don't know, my mom, well, technically, I'm mostly the one that watches the MCU series. My mom and I were both there for the episodes of WandaVision. We were there for Falcon and Winter Soldier. We were there for Loki. But um, the thing about that was we didn't necessarily watch What If. We watched the first episode on Sunday, the day we came back from Disney. We watched the second episode, the sat on the Saturday, August 21st, and then we watched the third episode, the uh, murder mystery episode, and it was a good episode. And also, we also ate pizza as an after school snack. So like those times were just really enjoyable. But we need to get to a story that is actually a little bit more lighthearted. And it has to do with those girls I was talking about back in September. So basically, and it takes place in PE as well. So basically, what we do in PE, most of what we do in PE, most of what we do, we just free play. We eat, and most of we stay inside. We barely go outside. I mean, this second quarter we have been going outside more because some people have broken the lights. We'll get on that in just a little bit. In the gym, but so most of what we do in PE is that in the first quarter we just free play. Like sure, before I left because of my mom's New York and dad's New York trip, we exercised a little bit, but we didn't do much. Um, and so basically what we did, and so basically since we're in the gym, we pretty much play basketball and we just do whatever we want. We can walk around and or something. And mostly what I do, I just stand there and just do whatever. I just stand there and watch everyone else play basketball or find some people to talk to. I did try to talk to this girl in my PE class, though I didn't feel like she was down to talk. But hey, that's her. If you don't want to talk to someone, that's okay. But I guess I guess that's just how people are. They're like me. They're sort of not talkative. But then here's where the story of the girls gets in. So I was just standing there minding my own business, watching everyone else play, and all three of them come up to me. They're like, "Hi, Nicholas." But actually, here's the other thing. One of them on the weekend that the whole group chat thing happened, one of them actually followed me on Instagram, and I was like, and she even added me as one of her close friends, and I was like, did I really just create a new my did I literally just have my own best friend in sixth in seventh in eighth grade? Like that's just great. Um, and so they basically came up to me and they were like, "Hi, Nicholas, we have a question for you." And when people ask me questions, especially people I don't talk to as much, they they just ask stupid questions. Technically, that's not what they were doing. They basically asked, "Why do you just stand there and watch everyone else play and not talk to anyone?" And they asked me, "Do I have any friends?" And I have to think about it for a sec because I do have friends. I just don't talk to many of them in my classes. And so basically, um, Sorry, I was reading a message that my friend sent me from a message I sent to them. Uh, and I had to think about it for a sec because I do have friends. I just don't talk to many of them. And then so I just shook my head no. And then I was like, come on, Nicholas. You don't have friends? And then, so basically, they have this group where it's five girls, one boy, sometimes three boys. And so basically, they just invited me to sit with them whenever I wanted to. And honestly, I was just thrilled because I never really thought anyone would do that. That is just the kindest thing that they've ever done, and I love that. And granted, I did sit with them, and it was a little bit quiet. I guess they did talk to me, but it was fun. It was nice. So then, I don't really remember what happened that week, and then it was a week after Venom: Let There Be Carnage came out, and I saw Venom: Let There Be Carnage on the day that it happened, and then I also had a project to work on for world history. Granted, I don't exactly remember the day it was due, but I remember that he accepted it. I got a good grade on it. Um, Hang on, let me text. I need to text back my friend here. All right. So I didn't remember much that week. So the wait, do I have October? We're okay. 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 All right. We're good. We're good. So October, yeah. So that week I had to work on the project. Pretty stressful because I had to type a lot of stuff, but also cut out a lot of stuff. So it was pretty much a lot. But the gluing part was the easiest part. Though it was a little bit a lot, but it was fine. It was fun. It was fine. And then that next week happened. Oh, and also I have to mention this. In my theater class, I was sitting by the girl I liked and a couple of other kids. But once I also part of the reason why I got my sweet my seat switched, and pretty much when I got my seat switched, everything was pretty much fine and dandy for me. And I was sitting with these two girls and this boy, and at first I was thinking like, oh my gosh, this group is just going to be annoying because one girl has a very weird laugh. I can't say annoying because honestly, now that I think about it, it's honestly just kind of funny, and her laugh is contagious. Uh, but at the same time, the kids that were on my table are all very kind and very nice. Um, and so I actually got used to them sitting with them and stuff. But what also happened in that I started to talk to them a little bit throughout the as I was sitting with them and stuff. And then that weekend happened. My mom and dad went away again to hang out with sorry, my friend just texted back. Hang on, let me text her. So yeah, that week was great, but because my dad's friend had you know problems with certain issues in his body, so he wanted to go spend time with them. Um, uh, and so we basically had a fun weekend. It was fun. It was fun, and I actually worked on my first comic book. Though I'm not. I don't have to make comic books on just regular paper anymore. I can just make it on a comic book that I have. And so and then after that, pretty much it was the last. Pretty much we had 2 more days left of the first quarter, and honestly, those 2 days were just great. That last day, I pretty much was just great because I got to talk to people, and what summed it all up is that in my last period, which is where all those people are, I finally sat with them and hanged out with them. And we were basically talking about like zombie apocalypses, which was kind of fun. And so then Wednesday, we actually had a day off because it's also a teacher planning day, which I call it a TB day, a TBD. Um, and so basically, I also got bruh. Y'all need to stop with this vor NGO. Like, seriously, y'all need to stop. I'm sick and tired of all these messages. Um, so then basically, my friend, one of my friends, she was friends with one of my classmates that I sit with, and I'm not gonna say I'm obsessed. I'm not. I'm not. But they just seem like really nice people, and I've been meaning to ask them for their phone numbers, and I never really got a chance to because I was just kind of nervous to ask them in front of people. And so basically, I asked one of my friends to give them the number, but they had to ask, and I got it. And then we basically all of us started talking, and we just all of a sudden became best friends. And I certainly became best friends with them, and I'm even one of their besties. So that is just great. What also made it great is that, but actually, let's talk about October, the day I came back from the little break I had. And the first day of the second quarter was a bit weird because I honestly thought it was just going to be, normal, working on assignments, getting ready for the new quarter. Obviously, that's what all the quarters do. But what we did is that the PE teacher said we were going to run every single week. And I'm like, how are we going to run every single week? And that just does not make sense. And so we had to run 4 laps. 4 laps. And that was like the most I've ever ran. And we had to, in order to get an A, we had to run for 9 minutes to get an A. If it's past 9 minutes or 15 minutes, that's an F. Like that's a total F. Granted, my PE teacher hasn't graded it yet. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because it's a lot of students to grade, but who knows? But yeah, that's really how that day went. And then also, we topped that week off. I told my friend about it, that I was going to go see the movie Halloween Kills in the theater a week after it came out. Much like Venom Let There Be Carnage, I saw it a week after it came out, but at least I saw it. And then I was just talking to her, like, and the thing about this is the girl I'm talking to, that I got her phone number from. I sort of met her in 7th grade in my world history, in my civics class, and my PE class. So we kind of go a little bit a long way back. And since I was kind of like the main star of both classes, she kind of complimented on like my posters and stuff, and I honestly didn't realize she noticed. And I was so surprised that she noticed it because she didn't really comment on anything of it or comment anything in the chat. And I was just glad. I was just glad. And so, yeah, it was just a great weekend, great way to start the weekend. And yeah, I love that weekend. And then it's pretty great. And then here's where it gets interesting. So that week, I had to stay home from school for 2 days because I felt a little bit sick. I was starting to feel a little bit chills. I was starting to feel a little hot, and I was not feeling that great. Granted, that week was the week. The week was that week was the week before Halloween weekend, and here's the other thing. my friend that I was talking to, she was sick, and I became sick too. And I was like, and she was literally sick that Monday, and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And she didn't go to school that whole week. And so basically, as we were both sick, we kind of talked, pretty much throughout those days, and we had some good talks. It was just great. And then one of the because PE, we're supposed to be running every single week. I was kept asking people if we had to run, um if we ran today. Did we run today? Did we run today? And they kept saying no. And when I went back to school Thursday, I was like, oh no, please, I'm praying for rain. And hallelujah, I didn't have to run. And what even made it better is that one of the PE teachers wasn't here, and that when one of the PE teachers wasn't here, we don't dress out. So we basically stayed in the gym. We took attendance, and then we were allowed to do whatever we want. So that was just a great day for me. A great way to put a great end to a day. That was just great. And then Friday, every single thing seemed like it would be a great day because it was sunny outside, and we were also dressing out. We also dressed out, and honestly, it didn't seem. It seemed like it's everything was set for us to run because we haven't run, and so all they did was just took attendance, and then they just let us free play like out of nowhere. Like like it's so perfect to run. Why are we gonna play? And so I was so surprised with that, and I'm just glad that I didn't have to run, and I wasn't sore to walk for trick or treating candy. So then, that next weekend, so then it was Halloween weekend. I honestly really wanted to invite my friend that I was talking to my house to hang out with for Halloween. Granted, I couldn't because she was also sick, but she also does her own thing by going to like some church, trick or treating at church or something. I don't know, giving out candy at church, but eh, it's her loss. But hey, it's fine. That's what she does. Um, but one of the things we actually did that Halloween weekend is that almost all the Halloween movies that I haven't seen, even Halloween 6, which was a free on Pluto TV, all of them were all free on AMC Plus, and so we just decided to have a marathon night of watching all the Halloween movies from Halloween 4, actually from Halloween 5 to Halloween 7 and Halloween 2007. And so I watched Halloween Resurrection and Halloween 2009. And it was frustrating because Halloween was a great day. I got a lot of candy. I ate a lot of great food. But I wanted to I also wanted to post a video that day, though I couldn't. But overall, that day was great. And now let's start talking about November. But I'm going to actually go to the bathroom real quick because I actually have to go to the bathroom. So y'all can take a little break for a minute. Or actually, I need to turn off my mic. All right, so now we're gonna start talking about November, and let me just edit this. All right, so now we're gonna start talking about November, and this was actually a pretty interesting month because the first day I saw a bunch of stuff on TikTok and stuff saying like November starts the Christmas season, November starts the Christmas season, and I guess you could say it does, but Christmas season for me doesn't start until um after Thanksgiving. So but I understand what people are saying. And so then that week was just like for me, YouTube and movies was honestly just so simple for me that week because I watched some good films. Obviously, Artemis Fowl is not one of them. The Princess Switch is okay, but I loved how the movies were so simple for me to watch. I loved that. And so then the week after that was also Disney Plus Day. And honestly, that day was perfect. That was like one of the best days ever because I literally had a treat coming home from school. But in school, I got an A on my math test. Uh, I also saw some good performances by some of my friends in my theater class because we were performing some little scripts, and it was just great. And then it was also my dad's cousin's birthday, so we celebrated that. We had a party on Saturday and stuff like that. I also posted about my TikTok. And also Disney Plus Day announced a lot of great stuff. So on Sunday I posted about that stuff. And then on Saturday, I don't know why, but my sister and we watched Enchanted since it was on Disney Plus. I couldn't watch it the day before because I was literally falling asleep when I was watching it. And I just had a lot of fun with it, revisiting it, and then we pretty much just stayed up late, and she was able to give me uh to Disney Plus to watch Winnie the Pooh for one of my upcoming movies that I'm watching, and so I loved that aspect of the movie. I just loved that night. It was just a great night. But I couldn't. Granted, I couldn't finish it because when you're sleeping over with your sister, technically I sleep in the same bed because it's bigger. It's not anything weird though. Because you probably have big siblings, not bigger siblings, older siblings, and you probably sleep with them, or you probably sleep over with them. But that's just me. And so granted, we couldn't finish it because when you're having a sleepover with my sister, it doesn't. It's not really that time. You can't really do whatever you want. You have a certain time limit because when I'm in my when I'm in my room making my schedules late at night, I go to bed when I'm done, pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much that story. And so then the third week of November came. Matter of fact, hang on, let me go get a water because I am parched. Hang on, let me get a water. All right, so then the third week of November came, and honestly, this was a good week because it was the last week of school for before Thanksgiving break, and my science teacher was going so crazy on science fair and stuff. We were basically covering like science fair the whole week, and honestly, I didn't really honestly care about science fair. I mean, I did it. I don't really know what grade I got on it, like the board and logbook and stuff, but the I wasn't really I wasn't worrying about it as much. But here is where it kind of gets big for. I was kind of feeling a little bit sad on the day before Thanksgiving break on Friday because there was for two things. First off, it was honor roll, and then one of them it was also my friend's birthday. And so basically, now I know you're. Honestly, when I feel what I mean by sad, I kind of mean by left out. And let's talk about the first situation, and it has to do with my friend's birthday. Now I know what you're thinking. How can you feel left out of your friend's birthday? Like it's not your birthday. Like how can you feel left out about that? Mostly for that situation, it's not really feeling left out. It's more like feeling sad because it was my friend's birthday. I was even glad about it because I even said happy birthday to her. And even the way I knew about it is because she actually said it the day before. And so basically, in first period, one of her friends came in to say happy birthday to her, and I kept thinking to myself, if it was my birthday, I don't think anyone would ever do that. Even in my close friends, I don't think they would do that. And so then honor roll came, and I wanted to sit with like a group of friends, and when people were getting cheered on and I wanted to be part of it, but it's like everybody was screaming so loud, like I didn't feel like I could have done it, and so it was kind of frustrating for that part. So then winter break happened, and basically on Sunday before I went to bed, I decided to text my friend about it because it was really bothering me and I didn't really know what to do. And so basically she said, well, when it's your birthday, we'll sing happy birthday to you. And I just felt so I'm not even forcing her to do anything. She is the one that is going to do she's the one that decided to do that. And I'm just telling her. I'm just telling her what I thought, what I'm thinking, and yeah, so that's really what she's doing. And she understands what I'm going she understood what I was going through. Um, and then that week, pretty good. The only thing is, I did not really do much of the project at all. I the first topic. Now, here's the thing about it. I was starting to work on it Sunday, but I pretty much spent the entire time. I pretty much did not have a plan for it. I had to basically do another one because the topic I chose did not make sense, and it was just a disaster. So I had to find different ways to do it, and I got it done, so it was fine. But the big thing about this is that because it was Thanksgiving, and since you're thankful for, and since thanking being thankful for people is a thing, I think there's something we need to talk about in that. Um, um, and that I basically started tagging people. Like they have all these. Like I honestly started to get a little bit more. I started to be like post a lot more on Instagram on my story, and I really liked that. Um, and it really kind of showed me out more, and I just liked spreading positivity. So I did it more on Instagram than I did it more on TikTok. Than I did it on TikTok. And so, yeah, so it was just a great way. Thanksgiving was, of course, great with all the food and stuff. We decorated for Christmas. We worked on the science fair project that weekend. It was just great. And also, the first two episodes of Hawkeye came out that week. So it was just great. And also, let's just talk about the week we came back from Thanksgiving break. And honestly, it was just for November days, it was just great. The first week, like my friend was because she said she wants to interact with me more. She literally was like talking to me, saying like, "Hi, how was your winter break? What did you do?" I mean, not winter break. Winter break is right now. How was your Thanksgiving break? What did you do? And I'm like, I was surprised, but like I'm glad that she's doing that. Like, yes. And I basically told her everything and stuff like that. And it was just a great day coming back from Thanksgiving break. And then the big thing that topped the closing of November is me and my friends finally took a picture. I finally got my first picture with one of my friends, and we actually got a group of like my little friend group in my first period. Actually, let me show you because I have it. My friend took it, but and it's technically theirs, but I kept it. Well, she sent it to me. I'm wondering if you guys can see this. Hang on, let me. Uh, hmm. Let me see if I can turn on down the brightness. Maybe that will work. So yeah, that's all my friends. Yeah, that's all my friends. So yeah, that really topped the closing of, and then also literally what happened after that is that we literally like that whole day for all electives, we had field day, and I haven't had field day since elementary school. So like having field day in PE and the first period, like that's just the greatest way to top that day. Like it was just a great day because I got a picture with my friends and I was able to hang out with some of my ones that I wasn't able to hang out with before. So it was just a great day for me. All right, so now we're gonna talk about December now. Wondering when we can talk about it. Let's do 18. All right, so now we're gonna talk about December. And basically, we're just continuing this week, because it was 2 days of November, and then the rest was December 1st through December 3rd, and all three of those days were just good. I thought it was okay. Uh, it definitely had some good stuff in it. I watched some good movies. I watched The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I watched The Matrix. I watched Treasure Planet, no, Treasure Island. Uh, so it was a good weekend. And the next week after that, I actually had an extended date for my science fair project to be due. So I was able to do that a little bit longer, though I wanted to get it done. And so then the week after that, I don't remember much that happened, but I heard that there was like a threat to the school for Wednesday that the teacher sent to the parents. And so basically, I stayed home, though they did catch the person that sent the threat. But I still stayed home, but it was still fun. I still got my project done, and it was just a great way to end the week. And so then, and then the week that next week after that, but actually also that first weekend was like the first weekend where I actually got to relax. I finally got to relax from that project because that project was stressful as hell. And I'm glad I finally got to relax from that thing. Then from there, we're going to be going into the 13th through the 17th. And it was just a great week. Great week. Because first off, it was the last week before winter break, and it was Spirit Week. So I wear what did I wear? I wear sweatpants. I wore a black jacket and a Baby Yoda green shirt. And honestly, while all the pajamas that people were wearing were cute, it was also just kind of funny because some of them were wearing pretty much the same pants. And it was just funny. And I saw people talking about it on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And it was just funny. And yeah, so it was just great. And so then another thing that I also did, the pajama day was really the only day I really I really was a part of it, but I didn't really do anything else of that week. So yeah, that's really what happened that week. But then also I heard that we had another threat that Thursday, and so that took the day off for me to stay home. But also here's the thing about it. So that since it was the last day before winter break, I had a plan that I was going to give at least like 24 people candy canes to set like my close friends, not just normal people, because I honestly feel like some people don't deserve it. Like my bullies. My bullies don't deserve it. But certain people I don't talk to, I don't know. Um, I don't know. They just don't talk to me. So, and I don't really talk to them. So, I'm not doing anything to be mean about it. It's just, I don't know. I wanted to keep it for certain people, and I want to make it fair at the same time. But who knows? Because but then I did not, because I did not go to school that day. I didn't get the candy canes until Thursday, and so basically I sometimes when I heard that I was texting, I basically texted everyone that I was not going to be in school, so I asked them if it was okay to give the candy cane to them when I get back from winter break, when we all get back from winter break, and so basically that's what I'm going to be doing. And honestly, I saw my friend taking pictures with all of them of like their pajamas and stuff. And I even asked if we can get a picture when I get back with her giving me giving her a candy cane and saying thanks. I honestly I hope that happens, and she even agrees to it. Though she does have a crush on someone, but she's totally fine with it. Um, and so then I stayed home that Friday, but the best thing, but that the main thing about that day was that Spider-Man. I was going to see Spider-Man that day. I was going to see Spider-Man No Way Home, and probably the biggest thing that affected this channel, not affected, but probably the biggest thing that I was so worried about this channel is not being able to see Spider-Man No Way Home. Not being able to review Spider-Man No Way Home, because I don't have a review for it, but I have seen it. I have talked about it in certain videos. So I do love Spider-Man No Way Home. Go watch my go watch my ranking yesterday. Go watch my December ranking. Go watch my theater movie ranking. It's all there. Uh, but I don't have a review, unfortunately, or a Spider-Man movie ranking. But it's a great movie. Saturday, pretty boring, honestly. Though we did watch some Spider-Man movies. We did watch some. And then Sunday was honestly just a chill day. It was just a very good day. We watched a lot of stuff, though. I watched Ron's Gone Wrong and The Hateful Eight, and I was just kind of late on that, so I wasn't. My video schedule was kind of weird, though. It got back on track on Wednesday when Hawkeye ended, and the worst thing about that week was that that Friday was Christmas Eve and Saturday was Christmas Day, and on Thursday I had to go to the doctor. No, actually, not just the doctor. My mom set up an appointment for the doctor and the dentist in the same day. And so that was just the worst thing, though the timing between them were different. The dentist appointment was first, and the doctor's appointment was later in the day, so it was fine. And honestly, and if you're wondering, yes, I did get a shot, and honestly, my arm is better now. So what was I thinking about anyway? And so then Christmas comes, and honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't feel as excited. I didn't really feel as excited for Christmas as I did until Christmas Eve night, where I was just so pumped up. I was like, oh, let's just go home already. I want to go to sleep so I can let the time pass and Santa can so Santa can come and put presents under the tree. Like, I know I'm 14 years old, but come on, that's waking up with presents under the tree on Christmas morning. That's never gonna get old. And so then I was honestly tired that day because I woke up at like 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, and then I went a little bit back to sleep. I kept like checking outside to see if the sky was up, and it was just great. All the presents, I loved all the presents. My dog, however, was a little bit anxious because she was like wondering like what is going on. And another thing is that she actually got a new bed, though it's for the living room, not technically for her main bed, which is kind of what I thought that it was going to be. It was going to be for her. It was going to be her new bed. And then also, if you guys are wondering, well, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can show this. You guys see those lights up there? Yeah, that's actually a Christmas present that my dad set up 2 days ago. And it's one of the best Christmas presents. My sister got them for me. And thank you, sis, if you're watching this later on. So yeah, then we're coming to this week. You guys pretty much know. Honestly, I was having a little bit of trouble with Letterboxd because uh it like I had 534 films, 255 films watched this year in 2021. And then for my diary, it said 531 or 534, 533. And then for reviews, it kept saying 533. I mean 531. And I was like, and then I realized you can go on the films of how many on the films thing, and you can see what you logged, what did you review, and it was basically Jumanji 2, Cars 3, and Madagascar. And I was like, how did I not log these movies? And then also, it was also complicated with the list because I kept adding up all the movies that I saw of all the non-release films, and it kept saying I was thinking it was 172, but then I had to add Treasure Island, and then I had to add Twilight and Glass, and I was like, how did I miss those movies? Like, how all of a sudden did I miss those movies? So it was just kind of weird, but thankfully, it's a good thing I checked before because it would be a bad thing. But sometimes on live streams you will mess up. And then, how was my New Year's? My New Year's party, it was great. My dad invited some close friends of his, and he brought in great fireworks. That was back in 4th of July. We had Mickey Mouse fireworks, and we finally got fireworks. We got like, pew, pew, and then like it was all great, and it was just a great way to start the new year. I pretty much went to bed at like 5 a.m. yesterday because on New Year's, it's like I feel like I'm allowed to stay up late, and I love that. So, and that pretty much leads us up to today, January 1st at 10:22 p.m. And that's pretty much the year. But we're not done with this live stream yet. We have 3 more things to do before we end this video. Well, actually, pretty much 4, but we'll make it quick. So we're gonna talk about the year overall. But let me just kind of edit this. All right. So for me, my thoughts on this year of 2021 overall, it's been a great year for me. When it started out, it was okay. I was, of course, stressed out with school. But then as it got along, not just for YouTube and the movies, but it was just relaxing. And I just thought it was a much better year than COVID. And granted, it had its ups and downs, but overall, it was just one of the best years ever. And some of my dreams actually came true of all the kindness everyone puts out in the world. It was just great. And now let's kind of talk about YouTube for a second. Movies for a second because I wasn't able to do this yesterday, but I want to talk about the movies that I'll be watching or I have that are coming out in 2021. Out in 2022. And then so basically here is the list for January. And I'm gonna go through this real quick. I'm just gonna announce the dates and then that's it. I'm not gonna announce any series because that's something I have on my own, or you can experience on Letterboxd. All right, so for January 7th, there's only one movie, 355. January 14th, you have Hotel Transylvania 4, Transformania, Deep Water, Scream 2021, Sesame Street 2021, which I don't know if we're gonna get that movie yet, but that comes out in 2 weeks. And then for January 21st, we have Redeeming Love, The King's Daughter, and then for January 28th, which is my birthday weekend, which we'll talk about that in just a little bit, Morbius, The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, and Home Team. And then for January for non-release films, we have for today. Once this stream is over, I'm gonna start watching Carol, and then January next week I have planned are gonna be Scream 4, Batman Robin 1949, Jackass #2, Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and then for January 14th we have the Batman the movie, Jackass presents Matt Hoffman's tribute to Evel Knievel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, and then January 17th is An American Affair for Martin Luther King Day. January 21st, Batman 1989. January 21st, Jackass 3D, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know which one it is. And then for January 28th, it's Batman Returns, Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa. January 28th, it's Murder, and The Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. I'm just gonna say what those films are, but yeah, that's the thing that I wanted to talk about. And then also let's talk about some New Year's resolutions, and then we'll be done with this stream. Okay, so for me, what are my New Year's resolutions? I'm not like those people that have New Year's resolutions like I'm gonna be nicer to people. It's not really that. My New Year's resolutions is to do the same thing I've done last year. Do more, do great in school. Keep posting daily. Weekly, day on a weekend basis. Make more friends and hang out with people more. Which hanging out with people more is something I want to do more in 2022. I really want to hang out with people outside of school. And I also want to continue that thing of watching more movies, movies that I haven't seen before, and I want to clear out my watch list on Letterboxd because that list is huge, just huge. And then the final thing, and we're gonna save. I wanted to save this for last. Let me All right, so for the last thing on here, we're actually let me change this real quick because it's supposed to be end closing. And the last thing that we're going to be talking about on today's live stream is at the end of this month, it's going to be my birthday. Now, technically, my sister's birthday is going to be next week, but at the end of this month, it's going to be it's going to be my birthday. I'm turning 15, and I'm actually going to be, hopefully, if it happens, I'm going to be throwing a party at my house. We're basically going to cook food, probably go to the pool. Yes, some people go to the pool in January if it's warm. Go in my room with the door open and just blast music and just have a fun time. I'm not exactly sure, and this will basically be people from school, and also that people live in Florida that can go. I'm really hoping that this party happens because I really need it to happen for my birthday, especially going into 2022. So that's really everything. I'm putting the list together, and we're going to be buying invitations tomorrow. So that's everything that I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Marvel6. My TikTok is MarvelFan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my bad section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as Instagram, Marvel_6_. Go follow me on Discord if you want, Marvel_6_. Don't follow me on Snapchat because I don't do anything on there. And also, once again, Happy New Year, and cannot wait to see you for the rest of 2022.